The doctor says to this feller, I got bad news and worse news. He says, oh, what's the bad news? He said, you got 24 hours to live. He says, well, what's worse news? I forgot to call you yesterday.
Oh! I'm so proud of myself today.
I'm so proud of myself. You know why?
All right, y'all. Blue Collar Comedy Tour. The guy's favorite jokes. Larry the Cable Guy. Now, a few things here. I'm jumping into a 10-minute clip here of the Blue Collar Comedy Tour. I did notice that they had the full special out. If you guys want to jump into that, let me know in the comments. I can put the full thing on Patreon and we can part it up. We can do it in parts on YouTube. Sort of like I'm doing the Cat Williams thing. Second part of that will be out as well. If that's what you guys are interested in, we can do that. Hey, no problem here. But for now, we have the clip. And another thing here, I haven't seen Bill Engvall, probably butchering his last name, or Larry the Cable Guy. So it's going to be my first experience with these two. I have seen Ron White just recently, the story about him being kicked out the bar. More Ron White on the way as well. The Tiger Woods video is coming. And we just literally seen Jeff Foxworthy 2 or 3 days ago. So we got a little bit of gist of him. These four together, I don't know what's about to happen. This is like being at the bar and mixing 4 drinks together, different drinks. You don't know how it's going to make you feel. So I'm prepared. All that being said, like and subscribe to the channel. Let's try to get this video to 4,000 likes. The last time I asked for an amount of likes, we surpassed it. I was shocked. So let's try 4,000 likes. If it doesn't get there, I'm not tripping. I'm just experimenting here. But let's try to get this video to 4,000 likes. Other than that, let's jump into Blue Collar Comedy Tour and see what the guys have up. Let's do it. Sweet child man.
Well, look at there, boys. We got stool men now. You know what? It's funny. We travel all over the country, and we all been doing this for a number.
Someone's intrusive thoughts kicked in.
I never considered you a spinner.
This is the same guy yesterday afternoon. We're at the Lincoln Memorial, and he said, I had no idea he was that big. And Bill said he's not even standing up.
It's funny, being a comedian, people always come up to you and go, hey, tell me a joke. Which is weird, because nobody walks up to a plumber and says, hey, fix my toilet. So I thought it would be fun. It's, do what we do every night. Like, we finish a show, and you're jacked up from the shows. You can't go to bed. So we sit around down at the bar or Waffle House or whatever, and we just tell jokes to each other. And I thought it might be fun to tell our favorite joke. All right? Yeah, just...
Let's get some of the favorite jokes.
I got to tell you, I'm dizzier than hell here. The doctor says to this feller, I got bad news and worse news. He says, oh, what's the bad news? He said, you got 24 hours to live. He says, well, what's worse news? I forgot to call you yesterday.
Oh! I forgot to call you yesterday. Hold on a minute. Let me hear his voice again. He sounds so familiar. Who is... he voiced something. He voiced someone. Or... I'm drawing a blank here, guys. I've heard this voice on the film. I know I'm not crazy. Don't say that I'm crazy, because I know that I'm right here. I'm almost 100%. I'm dizzier than hell. I bet. This is, oh, I remember. I don't want to look it up and ruin it. Guys, sorry. If I'm lying, I'm flying. Mater. This is Mater. Hold on, let me look it up now to see if I'm right. Yes. I knew it. Mater was my favorite character in the movie Cars. He was the bestest friend ever. Mater was... Wow. I didn't expect to see Mater up there in real life. This makes it that much better. I don't know why that makes it better, but I like Larry the Cable Guy that much better now. If you guys want to see my Cars reaction, it's not under Mr. Video. It was under a different channel. So type in Cars reaction, weird guy. I know it's weird, but yeah, Cars reaction, and then weird guy, and then the reaction to the Cars films will pop up. What did he say? He won 3 Piston Cup. He did what in this cup? Hey, hold on, man. I love Larry the Cable Guy now. This guy's Mater.
Bad news and worse news. He says, oh, what's the bad news? He said, he got 24 hours to live. He says, well, what's worse news? I forgot to call you yesterday.
All right, I got a 24-hour to live one.
A 24-hour
Guy
to
gets
live
up in the morning, 6 a.m., goes to the doctor. The doctor tells him he's got 24 hours to live.
I bet this is the same doctor.
Hey, what's his doc name? Make sure I don't go to him.
Y'all want to sit next to each other?
That night when the guy's going to bed, he tells his wife, he said, I've only got a few hours left. He said, I want to make love to you just as many times as I possibly can. And so they do it once, twice, 3 times, and then they fall asleep. Well, about 4:30 in the morning, the guy taps his wife on the shoulder. He goes, I want to make love to you one more time. And she goes, you know, that's easy for you to say, Jerry. You don't have to get up in the morning.
Oh, my God. That was a good one. You're going to be dead in the morning. Damn it, wife. I'm dying here. Give me one more shot. Baby, give me one more time. Oh, baby, baby. He said you don't have to get up in the morning. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Oh, that was wild. That was wild.
Easy for you to say, Jerry. You don't have to get up in the morning.
Ronnie, you got a joke?
What you got, Tater?
All right.
Oh, Tater!
His mind's like a lazy Susan. If you'll just bear with us, it'll come back around here in just a minute.
This guy's taking flying lessons. He's talking to his buddy. He says, first day in the air, the instructor informs me he's an 8th degree black belt and a homosexual. And if I don't succumb to his sexual advances, I have to jump out of the plane. And his buddy goes, well, did you jump? And the guy goes, yeah, a little at first.
Oh, my goodness, Ron. How did you, Ron? Why was that what you conjured up, dude? You should have kept that one. You should have kept that one, Ron. He said, did you jump? Yeah, a little at first. So, what happened? Oh, my goodness. Someone's rectum has been violated. You know what? Ron, why is that what you thought about? He's a black belt and a homosexual. He had to jump or succumb to my homosexual needs. Did you jump? A little at first. No, that's good. That is good. That is good.
This woman goes to the doctor, says she's got a digestive tract problem, and the doctor says, well, tell me about your daily routine. She says, well, I get up at 6:15 every morning and make my family breakfast, and at 8:15 I have a bowel movement. He goes, well, let's take an x-ray and see what the problem is. So he takes an x-ray and he goes, well, there's the problem right there. You got 3 worms in you. We're going to have to operate. First worm goes, did you hear that? Second worm says, yes, I did. He goes, what are you going to do? He goes, well, I'm going to hide behind the heart. Other worm says, well, I'll hide behind the liver. And the third one says, I don't know about the rest of you fellas, but I'm catching the 8:15 out of here.
I'm catching the 8:15 shit train up out of this joint.
That's funny. One more here. All right.
Hey, Ron, where you going?
The show was running a little long for some of us.
Yeah, he had to re-up.
I didn't know it was going to take this long, sorry.
Well, this feller goes hunting with his buddy, and he got the scope up, and he goes, oh, my Lord, I can see your house from here and your wife's cheating on you with another feller. He says, I've had it with her. Shoot her in the head and shoot him in the private parts. And he said, I'll get that in one shot.
Oh, jeez. Someone's wife was giving a blowjob. I get that. That was a crazy blowjob joke. Now this guy has a visual of his wife. You know what? Hey, these are some good one-liners. These are some good jokes.
I gotta admit, the preacher told me that last week.
The preacher? What the?
This guy's mother-in-law comes to live with him. She's been living there for about a week, and he comes home one day, she's laid on the floor, and he calls 911, and the ambulance comes and gets her, and they take her to the hospital, and he's out in the waiting room, and the doctor comes out after a while, and the doctor said, well, I got some good news and some bad news. I said, all right, well, give me the bad news first. He goes, all right, your mother-in-law is not going to die. He said, she's had a massive stroke. He said, in fact, she's probably going to live 20 or 30 more years. He said, the problem is this thing has rendered her unable to speak. He said, she just makes this horrible screeching noise like a parrot now. He said, it's also disabled her from using her arms, and she can't feed herself. He said, for the next 20 or 30 years, you're going to have to feed her baby food 3 times a day.
Jeez.
Also, it's made her incontinent. You're going to have to change her diapers and clean her up every single day of your life. The guy said, oh my God, he said, what's the good news? And the doctor goes, oh, I'm just kidding with you, she died.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, right, but you laughed at it.
That was a little dark. That was a little dark, Jeff.
There's a cruise ship, and there's a magician that works on the ship, and the captain had a parrot. He liked to go to the show every night, but the parrot understood the show, and because he could talk, he would give away everything. You know, he's putting it in his sock, Brock. Put it up his sleeve, Brock. It's in his hat, Brock. And the magician just hated this bird, and one night he just snapped, and he pulled out a pistol, and he shot the bird, and the bird ducked, and the bullet hits a propane tank and blows the cruise ship to 1 billion pieces.
Jeez.
The only survivors are the parrot and the magician, and they're floating out in the ocean on 2 little pieces of wood. And the parrot goes, all right, I give up. Where's the damn ship?
Parrot couldn't figure that one out.
I got a ship joke.
Oh,
Back in
crap.
the 1800s, this wooden warship was out cruising the ocean. And the guy in the crow's nest says, Captain, there's an enemy ship on the horizon. The captain turns to his assistant and says, bring me my red shirt. All right. He goes and gets his red shirt. The captain puts it on. The battle ensues. It goes all day long, and they don't lose one sailor. 10 minutes later, the assistant comes up to the captain and says, hey, I got to ask you something. He says, before the battle started, you said, bring me my red shirt. He goes, why a red shirt? And he goes, because if I happened to be shot and was bleeding, the crew would not notice the blood and they would continue to fight on. He goes, wow, that's awesome. Next morning, the guy in the crow's nest goes, 20 enemy ships on the horizon. Captain goes, bring me my brown pants.
If he just shit himself, nobody. Bring me my brown pants. I'm about to doo-doo. My gut is bubbling. How many ships did you say? Sir. No one can notice. Sir, what's that smell in here? Don't worry. Keep going. Oh, my goodness. Hey, these guys seem fun to hang around with, besides the jokes. They seem like they're fun to kick it with outside of the jokes and the act. This was hilarious. I didn't expect it to be this funny. These were slapper jokes. I'm talking about jokes you have in a vault just in case. They play these dark, a few dark ones. Clean comedy. Jeff? You know what? We might have to dive into the full comedy tour. After just watching that clip, how hilarious that was. just seeing them together and the dynamic that they had together, it seemed like they were all best friends. You know, I don't know how long they knew each other or any of that. I'm just going off of what I seen or what I saw. Seemed like they kick it a lot. Jeff, I mean, it seems like Bill, he cracks up at everything. Bill was cracking up the whole time. We need to check out some Bill. I haven't checked any of his jokes out yet. He was hilarious. Larry the Cable Guy as well. We need to check out some Larry the Cable Guy. So you guys have to drop some Bill Engvall and Larry the Cable Guy in the comments. Ron White, the Tiger Woods is coming. Any more Jeff Foxworthy we should get into other than the redneck? You know, I didn't see any other recommendations other than the redneck one. We've done that. So yeah, drop in the comments and help me, y'all. What else should we do next? Last thing I need to say. That was hilarious.